Are you aware an interest is to be surrendered within 7 days?
Prepayment cancel is money requested for activities not done, and after the activities have been done, the accounting person accounts for every coin before receiving any other money.
Again, you're dodging my question.
Repeat
The question is, isn't an interest supposed to be surrendered and accounted for within 7 days?
Surrender of interest are surrendered within specific days.
My question is very easy. By law, should an interest be surrendered within 7 days? It's either yes or no. Should an interest be surrendered and accounted for within 7 days? What's your answer, Madam Governor?
I'm not sure if it's within 7 days.
Fair enough. You will also agree with me, this report covers an entire year, financial year, July to the date, the last date there. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
And therefore, if payments made in September last year by way of interest still appear as prepayment, the only conclusion that arises is that those interests were never surrendered and accounted for. It is the only accounting conclusion that ensues, Madam Governor. Correct or incorrect?
Incorrect. And the reason is that you cannot receive funds from the Treasury before surrendering everything that you received earlier on.
As a matter of fact, Madam Governor, so that I show you you're a liar, can an officer be given an interest without accompanying hard cash?
Repeat again.
Is an interest given is an interest when an officer takes an interest, aren't they given cash? Isn't that why it is indicated as a prepayment? Because they have been given cash to expend and later account.
It depends whether the
it is yes or no, Madam Governor. Can one be given an interest without a cash disbursement to them? Would you call that an interest?
It is a prepayment.
Madam Governor, I put it to you, you can't have it both ways. It is your case that the reason these items appear as interest on IFMIs is because they were by way of interest. Isn't that your defense, Madam Governor?
Can you ask clearer? What is it? What question do you want her to answer?
The question, Madam Governor, which I'm putting to you, is that your answer that officers take interest and then later on, when money is disbursed from Treasury, they are paid. That is why they are paid several, they appears.
What is the question? Are you putting it to her or you asking?
I'm putting it to her, Madam Speaker, that your answer cannot hold, which you gave in chief, that the reason your relatives have several payments on the same day is because money is paid after the event and after there has been an accumulation. That cannot be correct because an interest is always supported by hard cash. So it is given on cash basis. So the question of waiting for money does not hold, Madam Governor.
These are prepayments, and these are money requested for activities not paid before. And when money arrives to the county government, they are paid. For example, if I'm traveling today from here to a certain destination, we will use our own resources and later surrender the documents for the person concerned to receive the payment.
Let's use your own example, Madam Governor, pose it there. If you travel today on your own money, which will be refunded later, would you be given an interest for spending your own money?
You will be paid for spending
That's
your
not
own money.
my question, Madam Governor. You're going on a trip, and we all agree it happens every day, on your own money to be refunded later. Are you given an interest on that occasion when you're traveling on your own pocket to claim later?
You will be given interest if there are some goods you are required to buy on cash. And the amount of money that the council we are discussing is the office of the governor, where there are no projects apart from the usage of money by way of travels and other things like purchase of items in the office of the governor. No projects is done in the office of the governor. How else do we expect the office of the governor to work or to receive money if not by this form?
I did ask you any question, Madam Governor, about projects. We are talking.
Councillor, can you wrap up on that question, and can you? I think the Senate might be able to appreciate the issue of interests. I request that you move to the next question.
Madam Speaker, my name is Moreru, and I have a few questions for the Governor. Madam Governor, we were told by your witness, the CEC for Legal and Public Service Management, that the originals of the surrender documents are with the auditors. Is that your position?
Yes.
And he told us that the originals that are with the auditors are signed. Is that your position?
Yes.
So if the originals are with the auditors and they are signed, where did you get these surrender documents that are not signed?
Council, what happens after you surrender the interest? When you surrender the surrender of the interest, you have a voucher that is in your documents attached to your files, signed, verified, and examined by an examiner. I think those are the documents you have. Are they examined and verified?
No, the documents we have are not examined or signed by the Director of Accounts or by the Chief Officer of Finance. And if your testimony or your evidence is that the originals are signed and they are with the auditors, where did you get these copies that are not signed? Can you have two documents, one which is signed, the original, and another document that is not signed with respect to the same transaction?
Of course, every person has to keep a record of what maybe you might be asked to give and give it out.
So you would agree with me then that the documents you provided here are not a proper record or representation of the documents that are with the auditors?
And that's why we have...
No, it's a yes/no question. Would you agree with me then that the documents that you've provided here, because they are not signed, and the ones that are with the auditors, the originals, are signed, then these documents, obviously, are not a proper representation or copies of the documents you submitted to the auditors?
They are the same documents submitted to the auditors.
Madam Speaker, I think at this point I'll invite the Senate to make the necessary conclusion. Governor, you can turn with me to page 295 of our volume 2. And my first question, Governor, is whose responsibility is it by law to appoint chief officers? Is it your responsibility to appoint chief officers?
No.
By law, whose responsibility is it to appoint chief officers?
Public Service Board.
Governor, maybe I can clarify there that the position of the law, if you check Section 45 of the County Governments Act, is that the governor appoints chief officers on recommendation of the County Public Service Board.
Yes.
The County Public Service Board advertises,
Yes.
they shortlist,
Yes.
they interview,
Yes.
then they submit names. And in fact, in your case, they submitted 3 names for every department
Yes.
to the governor for formal appointment.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So who does the actual appointment? The governor.
Yes.
So the document at page 295, now that you agree that it is the governor who formally appoints chief officers as by law, you will then you will agree with me, Governor, that the document at page 295 emanates from your office. It is signed by the county secretary for Her Excellency the Governor, and it communicates your decision as governor to appoint certain individuals as chief officers, some in acting capacity, some in substantive positions, correct?
Council, I would like you to...
It's a yes/no question, Governor, so that we move.
There's no.
So you have not appointed these persons?
I've not appointed.
Okay. I'll refer you then to number 1, Naomi Kamunde, that is appearing. Can you read aloud what the document says at number 1?
I want to read from slightly above number 1.
Okay, you can start there then.
Redeployment.
Okay. Redeployment, go ahead. Or maybe assistant can
In
read for you.
order to improve on efficiency and effectiveness in the service delivery, the following changes have been agreed upon.
Okay.
Naomi Kamunde to move from Office of the Governor, Directorate of Protocol, to perform functions of Chief Officer, Office of the Governor, awaiting substantive Chief Officer.
Okay.
Yes.
So, by this letter, Naomi Kamunde is to move from the Office of the Governor, correct?
Yes.
And perform the functions of Chief Officer, awaiting a substantive Chief Officer, correct?
Yes.
And we've agreed that the power to appoint Chief Officers resides in you as a governor.
Is that appointment?
No, we have agreed that the power to appoint resides in you as a governor, correct?
Yes.
Is it your position that in appointing chief officers in acting capacity, the governor need not consult the County Public Service Board?
In this case,
No, it's a yes/no question, Governor. Is it your position that in appointing chief officers in acting capacity, the governor need not consult the County Public Service Board? Is that your evidence?
who has signed this document?
It is signed. Answer my question. Madam Speaker, I think at this point I'll seek your protection. May the witness answer the
Madam
question.
Governor, just answer the question, sir.
It's a yes?
Repeat again.
Is it your evidence that in appointing chief officers, in whatever capacity, whether substantive or acting, the governor need not consult the County Public Service Board? Is that your evidence?
When appointing a new chief officer. But
When
not
appointing a
deploy.
new chief officer. So
not
I take it
deployment.
that it is your evidence that when appointing a chief officer in acting capacity, the governor need not consult the County Public Service Board. That is your evidence.
The county secretary also has the powers.
By what? By which law? By which law? Show me the law. I am willing to be persuaded, Madam Governor, show me the law. What allows the county secretary to appoint chief officers?
Not
in
to
whatever
appoint,
capacity.
but to redeploy.
Governor, the question is not on the deployment. The question is on appointment. The question is on appointment. And turn with me to page 335. What document is on page 335?
Advisory on transfers and appointments.
Okay.
This is an advisory.
An advisory by the County Public Service Board.
Yes.
At paragraph 2, just read aloud what the County Public Service Board has advised all chief officers, because this is an internal memorandum, through the County Secretary, who is the head of public service.
The County Public Service Board have advised the County Secretary and Head of Public Service, but not the Governor of Meru.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we agreed that it is a function of the Governor to appoint chief officers. We agreed on that, section
Yes,
45.
yes.
Okay.
But
Go ahead
there
and
is
read it.
no
Just go ahead and read
advisory by the county government or the County Public Service Board to the Governor.
I agree with you on that. But I'm saying just read paragraph 2. Or do I read it aloud for you to agree?
No, I should read.
Okay.
This is advisory to the County Secretary and Head of Public Service with respect to establishment of offices, appointments, including acting appointments to all levels of staff. Please note that it is the sole statutory responsibility of the County Public Service Board as guided by the sections 59, subsection 1, A and B, 63 and 64 of the County Government Act 2012 to read together with the section 34, Act 2017 and section 16 and 23, PSC Regulations 2020, any other appointments done outside this is deemed null and void.
The County Public Service Board says that all appointments, including acting appointments at all levels of staff, is by law, and the laws are quoted there. It is the sole statutory responsibility of the board, correct?
Yes.
So, could you then, you or your or your county secretary, in the document on page 295 and 296, purport to appoint chief officers in acting capacity or substantive capacity? Could you purport to do so? Or are you within the law in purporting to do so? That is my question.
I am not the one that did this. The letter is clearly signed by the county secretary.
But for who, Madam Governor? The letter is signed by the county secretary for who? For the governor, correct? And the appointment is issued in the letterhead of the office of the governor, correct? At page 295.
Where?
At page 295, on the top of the page, the letterhead is office of the governor, correct?
The letterhead for all the offices in my office have office of the governor, not this one specifically.
No problem, but this one specifically is office of the governor.
Yes.
Is the county secretary...
Council, sorry to interrupt.
Thank you.
I would like to alert all parties of the timelines that we are going to follow, and we are going to strictly adhere to this. The cross-examination will end at 7:10 without any extra minute. The re-examination will start from 7:10 to 7:30. The clarification by senators will start from 7:30 to 7:50. And then we'll have the closing statement on behalf of the County Assembly for 60 minutes from 7:50 to 8:50. Then we'll have the closing statement on behalf of the government for 60 minutes from 8:50 to 9:50. And then from 9:50 to 10, we will have an in-camera session, and the Senate will then have debate on the motion and division between 10 and 11:50 p.m. So this is to alert you to just bear that in mind. Thank you.
Very well, Madam Speaker. We are guided accordingly. So, Governor, back to my question. The specific letter on page 295 is issued in the letterhead of the Office of the Governor. And we have agreed that the Governor is the appointing authority for chief officers, correct? Mm-hmm. Is the County Secretary a staff in the Office of the Governor?
The County Secretary?
Yes.
And the public?
Is the County Secretary
in the County Government of Meru?
Staff in the County Government of Meru.
Yes.
You will agree with me that the County Secretary is the head of public service,
yes,
and is therefore not a staffer in the Office of the Governor.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So, in as much as you might want to say that the County Secretary was signing on your behalf, is not.
The County Secretary
is not a staffer in your office, correct?
The County Secretary assigned the letter
for the Governor, though he is not a staffer in your office, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Governor, turn with me to page 384 of our volume 2. Under paragraph 4, that is a response by the County Public Service Board to the Clerk of the County Assembly. You will agree with me that in that response, the County Public Service Board states, and I quote, the board is the appointing authority according to Section 64 of the County Government Act.
Not disputed.
And the board, however, was not involved in the appointment of the acting chief officers as per the Act. You agree with me? At least that is apparent on the face of the document, correct?
Maybe.
You agree?
I'm not the one that was writing to them.
No, but you agree that is what the board says, Governor. That is
yes,
obvious.
According to the letter.
Okay. So the board, the County Public Service Board, actually disowns your appointment and says that the appointments of the 17 chief officers whom you have appointed on the 23rd of August, most of whom are in acting capacity, was done without its involvement. Correct?
And to me, the board, the role of
so yes, no question, Governor, so that we move.
Council, the role of the board is to give advisory to the end of county public service.
The role of the board is to recommend for appointment to you so that you appoint. The powers reside in you, not the County Secretary. We agree on that, Governor.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the board disowns those appointments and says that you did not consult the board in making the appointments. You specifically, because you are the appointing authority.
And I specifically did not appoint any person.
I think.
Madam Speaker, we are constrained to seek your direction because we believe the rules of cross-examination is that a witness answers questions, they don't tell stories. And the reason we seek your direction and perhaps invocation of your powers under the relevant standing order is that we believe this witness is engaging us in an altercation, knowing very well our time is very limited, so that we don't have the opportunity to put to her all the relevant questions that we need to put.
Madam Governor, please answer the questions as asked.
Council, I have never appointed
Madam
any
Speaker,
of these.
Madam Speaker, just hold on. Council, can you ask the question and can she answer it?
Madam Governor, my question is, the County Public Service Board has disowned your appointments.
Not my appointment.
Who is the appointing authority?
The person who has signed here.
So, Governor, are you saying you have abdicated your roles as Governor and you delegated your authority to appoint to the County Secretary?
I have not delegated.
So, who appointed these officers? Is it you or the County Secretary?
The County Secretary.
Okay. So, Governor, you're saying you're telling this Honorable House that as governor, you can delegate your statutory authority to appoint the chief officers Just a moment, Madam Speaker. I want to show you, you can turn to our volume 3, or maybe I can just show you our volume 3. It's a small bundle with a green cover. The appointment of county chief officers. Governor, you will agree with me on 45, section 45, it reads as follows, that whenever a vacancy arises in the office of the county chief officer, the respective governor shall within 14 days nominate qualified and experienced county chief officers from among persons competitively sourced and recommended by the County Public Service Board, and with the approval of the county assembly, appoint county chief officers. You agree? That is the law. That is the law, Governor. You agree?
Council, I agree.
Very well, very well, very well, Madam Governor. So, have you presented a valid authority before this House to show that you could validly delegate your authority to the county secretary to appoint this chief officer on your behalf?
The acting chief.
Is there an authority? Is there an authority, Madam Governor?
Council,
From your documents.
Let me explain, Council.
Is there an authority? Yes or no?
These acting
Madam
chief
Governor, is there an authority?
Are
Madam Governor,
directors in the same
they want
office.
a yes or no answer. Just answer whether you.
No one has
delegated
been
that
sourced from outside. These are directors at acting capacity awaiting
I think, Madam
substantive
Speaker,
recruitment.
I leave the Senate to draw a conclusion on that question. Madam Governor, you can turn with me to page 68 of our volume 2. And for purposes of clarity, in your exam in chief, you stated that you did not travel to China, correct?
Yes,
You never traveled to China.
I have.
Did you seek clearance to travel to China?
Yes,
You sought clearance,
yes,
but you never traveled.
yes.
Okay. The document on page 68 says, and the question is, the persons in the letter that is signed by the county secretary makes reference to following the invitation of the governor of Meru County, the following technical team. The wording is technical team, correct?
Yes.
And turn with me to page 86. In that letter, you can see your name listed there as part of the persons who were supposed to travel to China, correct?
Yes,
Though you never did.
I never did.
So, because, Madam Governor, your defense is that your relatives traveled as part of an advance team, yet in the letter of 5th June 2023, we see that you tried to obtain clearance on the same day. Were they traveling as part of an advance team of another team that was to come if you are in the same letter with them seeking clearance? Is that defense consistent with what we see on page 86?
Yes, it is.
Fair enough. And at page 87, Madam Governor, we see a Mr. Nefat Kenyu Meme, whose title is designated as Director External Linkages, correct?
Yes.
And in your testimony, you say that he was an office administrator in the office of the governor.
Yes, and later moved to act in the external leakages.
And later moved to?
External leakages acting director.
Okay. Was he competitively recruited by the board in order for him to act? Okay, not competitively recruited. Let me rephrase, Madam Speaker, I'm sorry. Was he formally appointed by the board, County Public Service Board, in order for him to act as a director external linkages? Was he?
He was an
Yes or no?
He was an employee of county government.
Was he appointed formally by the County Public Service Board in that acting capacity? Was he?
By the county public service board?
Yes.
No.
He was not.
But by the county secretary?
By the County Secretary?
Yes.
And in that advisory that I just showed you in our bundle, in that advisory by the County Public Service Board, it says that all appointments, whether acting or substantive, in all levels of the County Public Service are the exclusive responsibility, statutory responsibility of the County Public Service Board. Is that not a violation of the law, Madam Governor?
It depends with the county secretary.
Does it depend on the county secretary or what the law says? Is it a matter of discretion? Or it is a matter of about compliance with what the law says?
The county secretary council cannot do this minus any law guiding him to do this.
So what is the law then that supports your position?
That's why I want some 2 minutes to get exactly why the county secretary has power to have a director to act for some few months awaiting substantive recruitment of a chief officer.
Again, Madam Speaker, I leave the Senate to draw the necessary conclusion. In the interest of time, Madam Speaker. Madam Governor, I'll refer you to the screenshots from pages 149 of our volume 2. In your defense, you state that you're the foremost peacemaker in Meru County, correct?
Yes?
In your defense is that you're the foremost peacemaker in Meru County, correct?
I'm the
Foremost peacemaker.
Yes, yes, yes.
The timestamp appearing on the screen grab at page 149 is on 20th of May, 2023, at the top, correct?
Yes.
Long before the impeachment motion was tabled?
It depends.
Between May and October 16th, how many months? Roughly 4 months, actually.
Yes.
Correct? And before May 20th is before the videos you played here of the parties withdrawing your support from you. Correct?
Yes.
And on this page, Madam Governor, we see your Chief of Staff removing, the screenshots are provided by the Deputy Governor for your information. Your Chief of Staff removed him from this WhatsApp group. You will agree? At least you were a member of that group. You saw that, correct?
I'm a member.
Who are the other members of the group?
So many, I don't know the number, but so many members.
Including members of the public?
Yes.
As per your defense. And at pages 155, in the other group, you can turn with me to 155. We also see that the Honorable Mutia, Chief Officer, removed the Deputy Governor from this group, which is on May 27th, correct?
Yes.
And in the interest of time, I'll refer you to page 160. This is a screen grab of your message about Kuchoma Jeshi that you are referred to by your counsel, correct?
Yes.
And your most disturbing message on page 163, a transcript of which, Madam Speaker, is on page is on page 446 of our volume 2, correct? Madam Governor, where you say, and DG mobilized fuel levy.
Yes.
Can you read that aloud, that message?
Yes, I can see the message.
I want you to read it aloud.
I can see it's Kitabun Kanata was copy pasted again.
Oh, turn to page 163 where it's Governor Mwangaza. Page 163.
Where is Governor Mwangaza here?
On the top. That is your message, Governor.
Okay. And the DG mobilized fuel levy.
Okay.
I continue.
Yes, continue.
Pamwe pagashwa uria pakamia mbira ya mbokando ukabaigwa.
Okay. What did you mean, Governor, by those words?
I meant that the DG mobilized fuel levy,
Okay.
as you saw in the clip.
I did not see, but go on.
As we saw in
No,
the...
just proceed, Governor. I'm not a witness.
Then I said, some will try to see things easy according to the proverb, and they will get hard way.
You will?
They will get hard way.
Madam Speaker, the correct translation is on page 446. I don't want to spend much time on it because it seems the governor will not as
It's a proverb. In the real sense, how do you have birembo?
No harm, Madam Governor, no harm. And this was way before that video by the DG. That was way before.
No.
When was this message written?
It was after.
You see, Madam Governor, we can follow through all the way from May 20th to May 27th, correct? When the DG was removed from the group. And the video that you played here by the DG was on 20th September.
And this WhatsApp group, you get a message and then you repost again using the same message.
So are you saying you reposted this message after 20th September?
Not myself, but the person who is Kinoti Kanata.
No, but Madam Governor, it is your message. I'm not concerned with the message by Gitobun Kanata. I'm talking about your message. I'm talking about your message. So after 20th September, you still reposted this message, despite having it posted it before.
Yes, it was after the verification by the deputy.
You have posted this message twice. That is what you're saying. You cannot have it both ways, Madam Governor.
After the verification.
And Madam Governor, turn to page 170, where you make reference to the DG. Please read that message aloud. They want him to recover what?
Yeah. They want him to recover what? Tosho invested every kuweka jina kwa ballot paper is investment worth CEC finance surely, and gratefulness is a curse. Results coming up.
Governor, I will tell you, so that I move away from that issue, that the message at page 174, where you malign your deputy, the message at 176.
What about this one that I've just read?
And the message at 179 are all inconsistent with your theme that you are the foremost peacemaker in Meru County. True or correct? True or false?
False.
Okay, let us move. Madam Speaker, at this point I'll request the Secretary to play video in support of country video number 3A.
Secretariat, you got it? Which one, Council?
3A.
3A. Please play
yes.
3A. What's happening?
Madam Speaker, maybe can my time stop running as they prepare?
Technical staff, what's happening? Did you say 3A?
3A, yes, Madam Speaker.
Is there a problem with 3A? Council, are you able to go to another question as they prepare? Or
Madam Speaker, at this
lose your
point I
thought
wanted the
process?
videos to be played in quick
Okay.
succession
Okay.
in the interest of time so that I ask the questions that all the 4 videos have been played.
Who submitted that video? Is it a flash disk?
Yes, we submitted 3 flash discs
It is by county assembly or
by the County Assembly, Madam Speaker.
the clip by county assembly?
Yes, in our videos. Our video
And it
number.
is in which flash disk?
It is, I don't remember the model, but it is.
The team county assembly, can you kindly assist? 3A.
Yes, it is video number 3A. Video, the folder is videos in support of count 3, and it is 3A inside the folder.
Okay, technical team, are you able to get that?
Gentokera mutuma kuthithia gentokera ntenda kuga kinya no tuimbije baite ni thairwa iri national ithi keri na toba bingi nationally gentokera mutuma kuthithia gentokera ntenda kuga kinya no tuimbije baite ni thairwa iri national ithi keri na toba bingi nationally mutuma ga kumira thani ira kurira bwana Peter.
Madam Speaker, I request that video number 3 be
Is
played.
that the one?
That is 3A, yes. I want 3B to be played. I want all of them to be played. Then I can pose the questions.
Okay, team, any other?
3B.
3B, do you have 3B? Proceed.
Madam Speaker, I request that video number 3 be played.
Say that again.
I request that video number 3 be played because I'm strained for time.
Number C.
Yes, number C now.
Okay, move on to C.
Kaende kabati. Na tunasema hivi tukiwa na mahaslas wenzangu ya kwamba Meru County haitatekwa nyara na makatero 10 ambao wanafikiria watu 10 viongozi ambao wanalipa mshahara wa 1 million ama 500 and above always to make decision ya kwamba Meru iko katika shimo, whereas we know shida yao ni yao wenyewe binafsi tumbo zao. Tunakuomba ufungue Meru siku ya leo, Mheshimiwa Rais.
Madam Speaker, we can move to video number 3D. 3D.
3D.
Yes, the final one.
Proceed.
Yanare antidire tie mweri jo mweri tene achoka meri etano etazira tona kakodia kaire Saitani ashindwe Mwana na tora koreria ko Romero mwakare Onge mwakoro Ongare are Mwari onda yambugithia mbusa leti bu adigere kawira wene kigwa Ibo adigere kyojo yero maru Kumbuka. Tusema na ili yabo kienine. Bwana asifiwe. Na ndi nyambo kama tio kabuyo kama utaneze. Kama tako imprisonment ya vivi ya tea. Kubia dizerie. Tea kama aliganiria kwa mbamba ntuko ya bonjuri ala kalivale.
This is EBN TV, transforming your world.
Up next on EBN TV.